Okay, you guys are good to go.
I'm good to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. I'm Susan Doyle from Oasis Senior Advisors. My husband Paul and I, he's on the other side of the kitchen right now. We have a company, and what we do is we specialize in assisted living and memory care placement. And we work in Connecticut and New York, Westchester and Fairfield counties. And as I said, if you're looking to if you're curious about assisted living, let us help you find the right solution. Also, if you need to be at home, we can help find support that can help you stay safe at home. So we're doing the Downsized Gourmet because we do know it's hard to cook for 1 or 2 people on a budget. We're all on a budget, and especially during this crazy pandemic that we're living in, we want to try and eat healthy. And so we put this program together to show you that it really is quite easy to make something healthy and affordable right in your own kitchen. We used to do this in the senior center, and we kind of bring the show around the county, but as you know, we can't do that. So you have me in Zoom in my kitchen. Yes, this is my kitchen. I cleaned it up for you. So today we're gonna make something with bananas and eggs, but not together, although we will be together. So we'll do the bananas later. So we're gonna start with eggs. I found frittatas are a great recipe, and they're really, really easy to do. You can put anything in it, but today we're gonna make, it's a muffin frittata, and we're going to be using asparagus, onions, and cheddar cheese. And peppers. Okay, so we're just gonna start right in. Okay, this is gonna be baked in the oven, so I'm gonna put my oven on for 350 degrees, so it can preheat. I have 2 ovens here, so we're gonna do things simultaneously. So we're heating that up. So the first thing we wanna do is we have asparagus. It's calling for a ½ cup of asparagus, which is about 8 stalks. I got this at Stop and Shop last week, and it was on sale for $1.47 a pound, so I bought it. Then I went over to Stu Leonard's, and it was $4.50 a pound, so I didn't get it. So if you don't want to get asparagus, you can get broccoli or whatever else you want. So when you get the asparagus, I already washed it. We're going to cut the bottoms off because that's where they're a little chewy, right? We just kind of throw it away. I have a garbage pail under me. I'm not just throwing it on the floor. So we're going to chop them up. And just, a rough chop, nothing too crazy, okay? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna saute our vegetables in a frying pan, okay? When you make a frittata with vegetables, you gotta cook the vegetables first, saute them first, all right? Because otherwise, they're not gonna cook enough just with the eggs. So I've got my asparagus all chopped up. The next thing it calls for is a red onion, not much, like 2 tablespoons. If you have a red onion, great. If you don't, you can use a yellow onion or shallots, whatever you have, it doesn't really matter. This is a great big onion. I'm just gonna do quickly. You don't need that much, as I said, it's only 2 tablespoons. I cut it in half, cut it in quarters, right? And then you gotta peel the skin off, right? Because you're not gonna eat the skin, that's not good. And about that much is going to give you a couple of tablespoons. So I'm going to slice it, in rounds, and then slice it again. So that gives you a nice dice. I also was at Stu Leonard's yesterday, and even in the grocery stores. If you don't want to cut these yourself, you can buy them pre-cut. I see that all the time. They make your life so much easier. So we're going to mix that together. And then it calls for some green peppers. If you don't have green peppers, if you have orange, you've red, whatever you have. I love these. They're really easy. You can just get them in the grocery store, any grocery store. They have them in Stop and Shop. You only need about 2 of these for this recipe. I like them because you can just grab one and eat them. They're so yummy. They're really my favorite. But as I said, you can get whatever you want. But this recipe calls for just like 1/8 of a cup, 1/4 cup of peppers. If you like a lot of pepper, you put more pepper in it. If you like a little, or if you don't like it at all, then don't put it in. So With these, you do have to cut the tops off and take the seeds out, right? So I cut the tops off, and I'm just gonna wash this real quick. I hope you can hear me, right? And then once again, we're gonna dice them. So to dice this, you're just gonna slice it down the center, and then into little pieces, and then, you know, chop again. And actually, you probably only need one of them. You don't even need two. I like color when I cook, right? So I think my mom always used to say, or still does say, it's gotta look pretty, right? Always needs to look pretty. So either with presentation or when you cook it, we want it to look pretty. So that's what we do with the vegetables. So the next thing that we wanna do is we have to saute them. So I have my fried pan right here, and it calls a tablespoon of oil. I'm Italian, I don't, you know, measure it like that, but you can. I do once around. Okay, that's kind of like a Rachel Ray thing. So I turn it on, I heat it up, and I'm gonna throw my vegetables in, and we're gonna saute them. It's about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. We wanna get them a little bit cooked, okay? Because if you put them in like that, it's just gonna be really chewy and it's not gonna cook very well. So we're just gonna keep an eye on that and move on for the next part of it. So this recipe calls for 3 eggs, right? So I have a mixing bowl right here, and whatever's on sale, it doesn't matter which size. These are just regular large eggs. If you like the small ones, great. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna crack them in the bowl right here. Oops, 1, 2, 3. And this also is going to call for shredded cheddar cheese. You could buy it pre-shredded, but I was at, as I said, I was at the grocery store the other day. They had this 2 for $4, so 2 wedges, and you only need like a 1/4 cup, maybe half a cup of shredded cheese. So for this recipe, I probably use 1/3 of a block, and I shred it myself with a shredder, right? This is the white. I shredded earlier, the yellow. Whatever you feel like doing is fine. The cheddar is a little bit sharp. If you don't have cheddar, really use whatever you want. As I said, the cheddar gives it a nice little tang. So as I said, I did that earlier. This was the one that I used. So, okay, so we have our, as I said, we have our 3 eggs. This calls for just a little bit of salt. You know, with salt and pepper, you can always add more. So I always go, I don't put that much in, and especially with this recipe, you can always add more later, right? So this calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt. You can use whatever salt you want. Regular table salt's fine. It's just, this is what I have for cooking. So I plop it in. And then with pepper, it's like an 8. So I'm gonna, you know, throw it in here. Just put it right on in there. Let's take a look at our veggies, which are sauteing. They're looking good right now. The asparagus takes a little bit longer to cook, right? So that's okay. We're gonna let it. We're gonna cook it, and it's gonna be a little crunchy because that's the way it should be. Also in this recipe, it calls for 1/2 cup of milk. So we're gonna add, 2 or 3 eggs and our salt and pepper. We're gonna add 1/2 cup of milk, just regular milk. I mean, I use 2%, you use skim, doesn't matter, once again. Okay, maybe this for later. I'm gonna plop this right in. Now, when we mix our eggs, do not overbeat the eggs. It'll make the frittata flop a little. Not that it's gonna taste bad, it just won't rise very well. So it's really about just breaking it up. okay? You don't want to like overbeat it, like you don't want to beat the heck out of it, right? Just, you know, to break it up. I think you can see that, right? Now, adding to that is the shredded cheddar. Right? And we just kind of mix that up. Now to this, we're going to add, the veggies aren't ready, so I'm just going to talk real quickly about, so we're doing, this one we're using asparagus, peppers, and onions. But if you want to do something different, I can also give you a recipe for one that has, it's a BLT, so it's bacon, not lettuce, but bacon, tomatoes, you can put some arugula in there and some green onions and scallions. You mix them all together and you put them in these muffin cups. Oh my God, let me tell you, it is absolutely incredible. So, there's so many different recipes you can do. It's really very easy. So this is looking pretty good, okay? This was about, I'm gonna say that was about 5 minutes, right? Nice and sauteed. And I literally just put this right in here. Throw it right in. Simple, easy peasy, right? So you mix it up. So what are we gonna cook these in? In this case, we're gonna cook them in muffin tins, regular, ordinary cupcake tins, all right? You can, if you want, you can put the baking, the paper in if you want. I just don't wanna waste it. You can if you want. I just spray them, spray it liberally, because otherwise the eggs are really going to stick to it. So just liberally spray it, right? And then we're just going to take, it tells you to put about a quarter cup in each tin. You want to get, you know, all that yummy stuff in there. And this will make 6 of them, right? So you're saying to yourself, I don't want to eat 6 today. I only want 2. Well, what you can do is you could save the rest in the fridge just overnight. If you wanted to have it tomorrow, it's great. You can have it with salsa, have it for a snack. These last for 2 to 3 months in the freezer. So I don't know if you guys, if you ever get takeout food like Chinese food, or you just have these containers, you put your leftovers in the freezer, right? And you make sure you label it. You write, you know, veggie frittata and the date. Just put it on either a piece of tape or a label. You put it in the freezer, put the date on it, because you should get rid of them after about 2 months, right? But I would think you would eat that before then, because these are so incredibly good that you're gonna wanna share them with your friends or just eat them all by yourself. I'm telling you, they're really good. So there you go. So I filled them all up, right? And I'm making a bit of a mess. I overfilled one of them. And I'm just gonna stick it right in the oven for 20 minutes. Whoops. And try not to spill it the way I did, okay? All right, so I've got a timer on my oven. So it turns off after 20 minutes. It goes beep, 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 so we'll probably hear that. Okay. So just gonna regroup here for a second. Oops. All right, so the next thing we're gonna make, because you always have to have dessert, right? It's like dessert is super important. And so what do we do with all these bananas? Okay, you buy some bananas and you want to eat them, but they get brown, and especially in the summertime, they get browner a lot quicker than they do in the wintertime or even in the fall. So I bought these on Friday, and today they're already this brown. There's only so many smoothies you can drink. Although we had a really good one this morning. I'll share that with you also if you want. So we make chocolate chip banana bread. This is a recipe that I've been making for my kids since they were babies. My eldest is now 29, my youngest is 19. They still love this. I made them the other day, and they're almost all gone. So this recipe, you can eat, calls for 3 bananas. The darker, the better. Okay, the darker, the better. So I'm just gonna put in 3 bananas into the mixer. If you don't have a mix, this is my grandmother's mixer, all right? This thing was bought back in the 60s. I will never get rid of this thing. But if you don't have this, it doesn't matter. You can use a spoon to mash them up or just a regular hand mixer. This is a very quick recipe. So this, as I said, calls for 3 bananas. And I throw them in here. And I just turn it on, oops, real fast. And we just want to gently mash it, right? Just a little bit. Right? Because we're going to be adding more stuff to it. It'll get mashed up. This recipe does not call for any sugar because you're putting the chocolate chips in. So what it does call for, though, is some melted butter. And once again, I'll be giving you this recipe. It's a half a stick of melted butter. So we already nuked it in the microwave, right? But you want it to be cooled. Do not put hot butter in here because it'll mush the bananas and cook the eggs that you're going to be putting in there. So it's just melted butter, 1 egg, another thing to do with eggs, right? So 1 egg, just throw it right in there. All right, so those are all the wet ingredients. Oh, almost forgot, and 2 tablespoons of milk. All right. So it's just butter, egg, bananas, milk. Really simple. So we stick this in here. Just turn it on real fast, just to mix it up. So that's not banana bread. That's just mashed bananas. So what we need to add to this is flour, right? So this calls for 1.5 cups regular flour, nothing fancy. Oops. 1.5 cups. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt, baking powder, and baking soda. I need to look at it. I can't see anything without my glasses. And we don't want to mess that up because baking is really a science, right? Definitely a science. So you don't want to put too much of these things in. Let's go a little haywire. So 1, 2, 3, right? And this is just basic stuff: baking soda, salt, baking powder. So I put those all in. I have a nice big mixing measuring cup, and I mix it all together. Right? Stir it all up. And then I put it right in my mixing bowl. You don't have to do it a little bit at a time. I just plop it right in. It's fine. This recipe is foolproof. I've been making this for years. So I put this on, I'll show you, until everything is kind of mixed together, right? It's all mixed together. And now we got to add the sweet stuff, right? Regular old chocolate chips. Whichever is on sale. These are semi-sweets. These are just Stop and Shop's basic ones. My mom is a big Ghirardelli chocolate fan. If you're particular, use whatever you want. You can use the little ones. You can use the normal ones. I wouldn't use the chunks. You know, now they sell you the big chunks. It's not going to work as well. So this calls for 1/2 cup. Paul thinks it's too sweet with 1/2 cup, but I like to put a little more because our youngest really likes it even sweeter. So you just plop it right in. You could stir it in, or you just mix it in, right? 1, 2, 3. So what do you make this in? Well, you can either make banana bread or banana muffins. We're going to do the muffins today, but I just kind of want to demonstrate with the, if you wanted to make the bread. With the bread, you have a regular loaf pan, and you spray it. But you also have to flour it. So you just put maybe about a tablespoon of flour inside the loaf pan. And I don't know if you guys, oops, that's more than a tablespoon. And you just kind of bang it around, right? So that it gets all the sides, because otherwise it will stick. Right, so this way it looks like that. And if you wanted to do a bread, you do it in this type of a pan and prepare this way, and you stick it in the oven for 45 minutes. But we're gonna do muffins, because this way you can have some, freeze some, right? I always freeze some. This recipe will make about 10 muffins. So I put the baking cups in. You have to spray them, because otherwise, believe me, I've forgotten to spray them in the past, and I was eating paper, because they will stick. So you liberally spray. Now, a trick that my mom always told me, how do you make uniform sized muffins or cupcakes so that they're all the same size? And how do you make sure that they, doesn't stick to the side of the pan? Well, what she always does is uses an ice cream scoop.
Oh, yeah.
This is how you make chocolate chip cookies too. If you ever have one of those melon ballers, right? You use those, and perfect size chocolate chip cookies. Anyway, so I just scoop up some of my batter, plop it right in. Right? As I said, oops, I've got 6 here. This will make about 10. Sometimes it makes more, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the humidity, maybe it's the size of your eggs, bananas, whatever. So there you go. I preheated my oven for 350 degrees. And this, for cupcakes, they go in for 30 minutes. And as I said, if you decided to do a loaf, then that's 45. So I am fortunate enough, once again, to have a timer. And yeah, so let's see. Oh, not quite yet. So the next thing, so you still have so many eggs. What do? Hard-boiled eggs. Best thing in the world this time of year. You make a whole batch of them and then put them in the fridge, and you can have them. Actually, hard-boiled eggs, they can stay in the fridge for up to a week. All right, I know around, some people might keep them longer. They say, not really. And even the peeled ones for up to a week, believe it or not. So how do you make a perfect hard-boiled egg? I'm going to tell you. I just have 3 eggs here, and I just covered them with water. And then you stick it on the stove, and you bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you turn off the heat, you put the lid on for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm going to do this for you because we do have some more time here. And then after 10 minutes, then we put it under cold water to stop the cooking, and that's it. You don't have to worry about them breaking, you don't have to worry about them banging all over the place, right? But that's how you make a perfect hard-boiled egg. One of the things with hard-boiled eggs, though, is that around Easter time, we always make hard-boiled eggs. Do you ever have a hard-boiled egg and you can't get the shell off because it sticks to the egg? Well, that's because you're using fresh eggs. You gotta buy the eggs, let them sit around for about a week, and then you make hard-boiled eggs, because I don't know what it is, but it won't stick. Okay, so so that's another little tip. Okay, so so you have all these hard-boiled eggs. I made some last week. Now I've got about 6 hard-boiled eggs in the refrigerator. So what do you do with hard-boiled eggs? Well, of course, you can put them on top of a salad, right? You can make egg salad. Most people, how do you make your egg salad? Well, most people put, you peel the egg, you chop it up. I like to put some mayonnaise, a little bit of relish, maybe like a tablespoon of relish, and some Dijon mustard. Mix it all up, really yummy. Those people who don't like mayo, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but avocado is a great substitute for mayonnaise, especially the mushy ones. So you take, cut an avocado in half. You could, for one egg, you could probably use a quarter of an avocado, and you smush it all together. And then if you like putting mustard in it, great. Just, that's a really nice, super healthy way to make an egg salad, And you can either put it on top of lettuce or make a wrap or whatever it is that you want, okay? So those are some great options for what to do with eggs, right? So we talked about hard-boiled eggs, a couple of different frittatas, baking, right? Let's see what our frittata looks like. Oops, we're getting there, definitely getting there. It's almost done. I'm gonna show you, because I made this the other day, what they actually look like. So, there's my little spatula. Spoon. So, they're really cute. So, this is 2 of them, right? The exact same recipe I made. And you could just heat them up in the microwave for maybe about 10, 20 seconds. And I just put this little salad together. And what's in the salad? Just some of the peppers that I used before, some tomatoes, right? And then if you like dressing, oops, you know, it's not all about product placement, but you can throw a little dressing on top. So that's what it looks like, right? It's really, really good. Where's my fork? Should I do a Rachel Ray impression? Oh my gosh, still really good. This is from when I made them on Friday. Yeah, these aren't quite ready yet. So we're gonna wait a couple of minutes until they're done. But I made the banana bread muffins. And Willie, my son Willie's 19 right now. He's gonna be a sophomore in college. He saw them, he goes, "Can I have some?" I'm like, "No, I need this for my cooking show." So these are the chocolate chip banana muffins, as I said, that I made on Friday. And what I did, I actually put them in the freezer and took them out this morning. And they are perfectly soft and delicious. I mean, I could show you the inside. Well, this one doesn't have that much chocolate chip, but they're still so good. So anyway, so that's what those look like. Anyway, I know I'm going back and forth a lot, but getting back to my hard-boiled eggs that come to a boil. And I'm gonna throw the top on, turn it off, 10 minutes later, voila. So what did you say, Paul? So if you guys have any questions, we can come off mute while I'm waiting for those things to come out of the oven. Any questions?
Yes.
You unmute?
Excuse me?
Yeah, okay, hi.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sandra Ann from the Bigelow Center. I'm the president of the Friends down there, so I know a lot of these ladies. Hi. I noticed that you have pans that only have 6. To me, that's an oversized muffin pan, correct? Not a general.
No, this is a regular cupcake muffin. I used to make regular cupcake muffins.
Okay.
I was using them to make cupcakes for my kids when they were in grade school. We had to bring, birthday cupcakes. So it's just a normal, basic cupcake size.
Okay, because some of the ones with 12 look smaller than what you were using, like the ones that I have from Wilton.
Yeah, no, it's a standard size cupcake or muffin. Yeah, it's not those oversized ones. I know what you're talking about when you make those big muffins. Yeah. Yeah, no. Although, if you had that and you wanted it bigger, how long will it take to cook, right? That's the question that you're going to ask, right? Question. So for this, it's 20 minutes in these pans. And the directions, and you'll get the recipe. It's until it's lightly browned and set. I mean, let me show you this right now because it's almost done. We saw, let me just, and I'll pop it right back in. But that's the way it looks right now. I would say if you use the muffin pan, the bigger one, probably add maybe another 5 minutes to it. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to pop this right back in because it's not brown enough. But it goes really quickly.
One of the things I do with frittata, I'm also Italian, half English, but Italian. I rummage in the refrigerator for leftovers, like leftover pieces of, chicken or bacon or leftover cooked mushrooms and just everything, and potatoes, slice up potatoes, everything goes, right?
Everything. And that's the key, right? Is that as long as they're cooked ahead of, like somehow you cook them, like if you do potatoes, that's another great one. You got to cook them first. You can't just put in a raw potato, right? The mushrooms also, right? And any of that. It really is, it's whatever you have in your refrigerator. This one I had because I like asparagus.
No, that's good.
On sale.
And the other, one of the, like growing up in the Catholic Church or whatever, on Fridays, we always had to go without meat. So we always, like my mother would make pepper and eggs, and big rolls. That was our favorite dinners. So,
I know, I'm Catholic as well, and I get that. It was either fish or eggs.
Yep.
Or we would come back from a full day out with the family. We would ski in the winter time, and we'd come home late on Sunday night, and you didn't want to make any, Mom didn't make anything super big, so we'd always have like eggs and zucchini, right? Yep. So whatever, right? You just throw anything in there because it's so good. Because then, you can do it with a salad, or as you said, a roll, or I even saw if you make it a little spicier, you get some salsa and you dip it in, like into it with salsa.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. Are you going to do this again for the Bigelow?
I would love to do it again.
I mean,
I know so many ideas. And if you have any suggestion on the type of food you would want, I'd be happy to do anything. I mean, we've got ideas. I don't know about you, but I have a garden that is starting to explode outside with zucchini and eggplant and tomatoes. And what are you going to do with all that? Basil and so yeah, happy to do this whenever you want. I think Amy and Julie, we're going to see if we could do it every month. Love to do it.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah, I really think it's great. I have a lot of friends who say they don't know how to cook. And I try to encourage them to come on here today, but I don't see them. But it would have been great for them to see it. I'll pass the recipe on for sure.
Yeah, pass the recipe. And if we want to do a rerun, we could do something like that. That's fine. I mean, there's all kinds of things with pasta. I'm a big fan. We get the New York Times delivered. Yes, we still do. And they have a great section on Sundays right now. I took their whole Sunday cooking section. I pulled out because I'm going to do every single recipe in there. So incredibly easy. There's something with shrimp and bacon and rice, and then another one with pasta and ricotta cheese. I mean, really super delicious. And then during the week, they have recipes too, and we've been trying that out. So, my youngest, he's 19, but he's not really adventurous. He's getting better. I kind of can't wait till he goes back to school so we can do some fun stuff.
Eat whatever you want. But yeah, one of my favorite things to make, and it's inexpensive, but you get your protein, is like a pasta salad, but you put tuna.
Oh yeah.
The tuna in oil, and it's very inexpensive, and it goes a long way.
My favorite thing right now. So I don't know if you're fans of quinoa. I discovered quinoa, and I would say every week or so I'll make a vat of quinoa. It's a quinoa salad. We could talk about this another time too.
That'd be good.
It's delicious, and it'll last for the week. You make it, and you either make it into a salad or you have a side, whatever. It's just, that's such a versatile and super healthy. I mean, that has so much protein in it. It's incredible.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, if you would do like a vegetarian one, not a vegan one per se, but a vegetarian one that would add the protein. I love beans.
Yeah, absolutely. You can either, add the protein or add the meat or whatever, or not. There's so many different options for
that'd
that.
Be fun. That'd be fun.
If we choose not to use the muffin tins for the frittata, could we use a Corningware dish?
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah. And
Yes.
would I leave the cover off? Leave the lid off?
You don't need to have the cover on. I gotta tell you, I'll add it to the recipe because I'm updating the recipe that they're gonna send out to you guys. So that if you don't want to do it in this, if you put it in just a regular Corningware, as you said,
Right.
you know, how long does it take to cook? I'll just Google that and
I gave all my cooking supplies away because I
No, never do that. Always keep the
don't
basics.
bake or anything, so I have nothing.
So
Always
one of the
keep the
other things
basics.
they tell you, do you have one of those cast iron pans?
Oh,
I
yes.
use cast iron all the time.
Oh, good. Well, that's the best way to make it. I made one about a week ago,
Okay.
and I used the cast iron. Oh man, that is
Oh,
really good.
I
That's the
use it
best
all
way
the
to make it instead of the Corningware. Because
Okay.
then you can start it here and pop it in the oven, and that was about a half an hour in the cast iron. I gotta
Okay.
believe in a regular Corningware, it might be a little bit longer.
Oh, I'll use the cast iron because that's what I cook in all the time.
Oh yeah, then
That's
definitely
three
make
of
it
them.
in that because
Right.
that's spectacular. Yeah.
And you know, not to take over everything, but the other thing is, it's so warm, and a lot of times you don't really want a heavy meal, but you need something nourishing. You know, maybe like dinner type salads. You know,
Mhm. Absolutely.
as you
Yes.
mentioned, the
Well, the hard-boiled eggs.
salad niçoise is my favorite.
The what? I'm sorry.
Salad
Oh,
niçoise.
spot, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's my favorite. I love string beans.
Right. Or do you? If you have a grill outside. Shrimp. A shrimp on the bobby. That takes 5 seconds on the grill, right?
And the shandy on the side.
Seriously, exactly. But all that stuff is so. I know. Right now it's kind of hot in here. It's hot outside, and I'm using the oven a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the salads too. Yes, definitely. And so, I had this red onion. I only used a little piece. So what are you going to do with the red onion? Well, you can do it with a salad. There's all kinds of things. So
Okay.
I'd
Great.
be happy to do. Give me ideas. I love cooking. I
You
cook
have
every night.
strawberries
Every
growing?
night.
You have strawberries growing?
I don't have strawberries in my garden, but I definitely get them at the grocery store or at Stu's. But yeah, I was talking about smoothies. What to do with the bananas? I made this incredible smoothie this morning.
Okay.
It was a banana, about 8 strawberries, 3/4 of a cup of vanilla yogurt. I guess I had the Stu Leonard's brand, but if you have the Greek yogurt, it's fine. A tablespoon of peanut butter, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Tablespoon of honey, flax seeds. I just kind of threw it in there. I put some ginger, a piece of ginger, probably about fresh ginger, about a tablespoon of ginger, and then about a cup of ice. I stuck it in my blender. So good. That was breakfast. There's only so many of those you can drink, right?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you just get tired. You want to bite something.
Yeah, exactly. But it was hot this morning, so and I had too many bananas. Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm trying to find a recipe. I have strawberries. My daughter said they would buy 2 get 1 free, so we all have like all these strawberries. And my husband's on this kiwi kick, and I was trying to find a salad with strawberries and kiwi.
Oh, well, right now, like anything with feta. Do you like feta?
Oh, love it. Yeah.
So you could do strawberries and feta, and you could put some crunch in there. Like those little cucumbers.
Okay.
And anything with like balsamic on top is going to be spectacular.
And spinach, maybe fresh spinach.
Oh yeah, spinach, arugula,
Okay.
any of the mesclun. You mix that all together. Chop up some celery or the peppers, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But if you put strawberries or watermelon with
Feta cheese.
with the feta, do you have fresh mint? I have mint growing like
Yeah, I have mint
in my
growing.
garden.
Yeah, I have mint
chop
growing.
that up. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. Do you ever put salt on watermelon?
It's do I put salt? Not if I'm eating it. Like if I'm eating just like to eat watermelon. But for the, if you make it with the, if you make it into a salad, I just Googled something yesterday. I wanted to try it. And it was watermelon and feta and mint and a couple of other things. And I think they do tell you to put a little bit of salt on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I Google everything.
Yeah, me too. I have my new phone. And I go, Siri, what can I make with peppers and a little piece of steak and you know. So
also what I've done. Okay, I still have one of those little recipe files.
Me too.
But then once you Google something, then you forget it. So I know this is really messy, but I just have a regular, book, and I have those page protectors. And when I find recipes, I just plop them in. So I got to tell you, I've got 4 kids. 3 of them are living on their own. They're always like, Mom, how do you make that? What's that recipe? And I'll just like take a picture and shoot it to them. And because otherwise, if I have to keep looking for them over and over again, I just spend so much time. But I do have my favorites.
When my daughters got married, I put together my recipe book so they could each have one. So.
Oh, that's great. And they appreciate that.
They do. Well, this is a lot of fun.
I even go into I know the grocery stores so well. It sounds like I go to the store all the time, but I had to send my son to the store, and he literally called me up and he's like, Mom, where do I go? And I walked him through the store. Said, you know that stuff that's on the right? Go straight ahead. He's like, Mom, you're unbelievable. But a lot of the stores, it's hard to find the ingredients. But this stuff, I mean, this is easy to find.
This is great. It's great. Thank you. I just saw a message on the bottom. Did you see that message? From Tina Butler. It says, to everyone, this is awesome. I don't know where it went now.
Oh, so Tina's my colleague. She's actually in Michigan. She's a Oasis senior advisor, and we have colleagues all around the country. We're in about 30 states right now, so we help people all across the country with whatever they need. And so Tina wanted to chime in. She wanted to watch because she thought it'd be fun. She's a good supporter, good friend of ours. And so that's Tina. Hi, Tina.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering who that lovely blonde was.
Yeah. Well, Susan, thank you so much for doing it. It went great.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, fabulous.
My muffins aren't ready yet, but at least you saw what they look like. It really does taste really, really good. And I'm so glad you could join us. If you ever need our help, we're going to pass off the recipes to you, and all our content and information will be on it.
Oh,
please.
great. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to do this again. So
Yeah, we're hoping for July, right?
yeah, no, that would be great. And if you hear, Amy, if they want something specific, just let me know, and I'll be happy to do whatever anybody wants.
Okay.
Thank you.
This
All
is
right,
a
I'm
lot
going
of
to
fun.
sign everybody out.
All right, have a great day. Stay cool
Bye.
and wear your masks.
Bye. Thank you.
so much.